The UMIK-1 and miniDSP 2x4 HD are things in my home theater that I just can't live without, and they have been for the past 2 or 3 years. Now I reached out to miniDSP to see if they wanted to send out a UMIK-2 for me to check out and compare to the UMIK-1, and when they agreed, I was super excited. So not only did they send over the UMIK-2, they also sent over the Flex audio processor, which I'm super excited to check out both of these things. So let's get them unboxed and talk about them. So we'll start out with the UMIK-2 since it's the smaller of the two, and I do want to thank miniDSP for sending this stuff out. This is just a nice upgrade over the UMIK-1. So I actually have the UMIK-1 here. Let's take off the plastic first. Whoa. So if we compare it to the UMIK-1, we can actually see that one of the biggest differences here is the capsule size on the UMIK-1 versus UMIK-2 is different. The UMIK-1 has a 6mm capsule, and then the UMIK-2, it's a 1/2-inch low noise pre-polarized condenser. So the overall size of the microphone is larger, and because of that, you do get lower noise and lower distortion. This does sound like a step up for sure over the UMIK-1, so I will be interested to see the measurement difference that you get. So let's just continue on with what we get in the box. So obviously we get this guy here. This is the older windscreen. We do get the windscreen for this one, so this just slides on top here, and this just prevents any type of noise hitting it. If you put it right under an AC vent, which you probably shouldn't do when taking measurements, it will cut down on a lot of that noise. And then if we open this up here, we also get the microphone clip. So the microphone just sits in here like so, pretty simple. And then we also get the cable, which is actually another difference. So if we look on the bottom of the UMIK-1, you could see there we have a micro USB connector, and this one uses USB-C. And the cable that is included though is a USB-C to USB-A cable. So you can use it with pretty much any computer. You don't need a USB-C port. I actually do have a few USB-C cables, so I may try to test that out, see if it works. And then finally we get a small mic stand, or I wouldn't even call this a mic stand. It's a little tripod basically. I never used the original one. It's not really going to give you what you need. The placement of it is pretty bad. Don't measure your speakers like this in your seat with a microphone like that, basically where the bottom of your back would be, because that's not where your ears are, and that's where you should measure. I really like the black finish on this over the silver on that one. Sorry, the audio is going to be kind of weird on this one because everything's sliding around here. It's not that I don't care for the silver. It doesn't really affect anything. It just, I don't know, black versus silver. I always go with like black. That's just me. And I did forget to mention that the USB cable is 2 meters, so around 6 feet in length. You may want to pick up an extension, which isn't really that expensive. You can get those on Amazon. That's where I got mine. I think I got like a 10-footer for like maybe $7 or $8. So if you've never had a UMIK-2 or UMIK-1 before and you just picked one up and maybe you found this video, you might be going, how do I know where to download the calibration file, because these are calibrated microphones, right? Well, on the box, it'll actually tell you to go to the product page, and that's really all you have to do. So on the UMIK-2 product page, just scroll down where it says calibration file download. You'll enter your serial number, which is on the actual microphone itself, but it's also on the side of the box here as well. That's it. You download it. You should have two. You should have a 90-degree file and then just a regular file. You want to use that 90-degree calibration file, which just has the microphone sticking straight up into the air at your listening position, and that's it. You're good to go to start measuring in Roomie Q Wizard. So moving on to the miniDSP Flex, and basically this guy is a miniDSP 2x4 HD with a bunch of other bells and whistles. If you're not familiar with the miniDSP 2x4 HD, it's essentially a way to calibrate your subwoofers. You put a single RCA cable in, and then it goes out to up to 4 different subwoofers. It really is transformative in getting great bass response in your home theater, and I live by it. As we unbox this here, this thing is hefty. We have a bunch of like plastic peel, which I'll take off in a moment here. This is the power adapter. The power adapter is 2-pronged, so you don't need to worry about a ground outlet there, but it is kind of on the hefty side, or on the wide side, I should say, so you're gonna need ample space to plug this in. I always find that I'm running low on places where I could plug this kind of wide adapter. So it's something I always like to mention whenever I do an unboxing. Now also you do get multiple power adapters, or power plugs I should say, that basically you can take this one off and put these on, and these are essentially for other countries. does come with a remote, which is great. Now, something I didn't mention is you do need an external amplifier for the miniDSP Flex. You can't power your speakers with this thing, which is understandable. It would be cool if they offered a version that had amplification in it. I will be plugging this into an older receiver. I think I'll talk about that in just a few minutes on like what I plan to do with this. Oh yeah, the little antenna guy on the back. So we are going to just go ahead and install this right on camera here, because why not? Now, as I put this on, I will say that this is basically a Bluetooth receiver, meaning that you could stream music to this. There's a bunch of different inputs and outputs, which I'll talk about in a moment. So my OCD is happy. It is straight on there. Cool. So then finally, you do get a USB cable with it. It's a USB 2.0 cable. It will need to be plugged up to a computer in order to access all of the parametric EQs and things like that within the Flex itself. But after that, you could just disconnect it. You don't need to keep it connected. That's actually a question I get all the time with the miniDSP 2x4 HD. After you're done with calibration and everything, do you need to keep it connected to a computer for it to work? And the answer to that is no. However, if you want to get audio from your computer to this device here, then you will need to keep it plugged in. So taking the plastic peel off, let's see if I can get any of this sound. That might sound cool. I think that works. So, okay, we have this unboxed. Now, what really separates it from the miniDSP 2x4 HD? I mean, if we look at the back, it kind of looks like a 2x4 HD in that on the input side, you have 2 RCA inputs. On the output side, you have 4 RCA outputs. Now, there are various models of this, one with TRS cables, which are basically like 1/4-inch jacks, and then another one that has both digital and coax out. I don't know what you'd use that for. That's a different use case that I'm not familiar with, but you do have a few different options, and they do vary in price a bit. So both the RCA version, which I have here, and the digital coax version come in at $495, while the one with the TRS connections is $75 more. So keep that in mind if you need that functionality. What sets this apart from a miniDSP 2x4 HD? Well, one of the things is you have both SPDIF or Toslink and coaxial digital inputs, which the miniDSP 2x4 HD only had the Toslink input. This has Bluetooth capability as well. I'm going to look at the website because I'm just can't remember it for some reason today, but it essentially has LDAC support, aptX HD support, AA streaming, all that stuff. So if you're not familiar with any of that technology, it's okay. Basically what it allows you to do is get high resolution audio to a device over Bluetooth. Using one of those technologies, or all of those technologies, really allow you to get more bang for your buck and higher resolution audio streaming right from your phone. So if you have something like Tidal, you should be good to go here. And I'll be testing that when I do the full like kind of review rundown. But what am I actually going to use this for? Like, why do I need this if I already have a 2x4 HD? Honestly, I'm not really going to focus too much on subwoofers. What I thought would be cool, and actually was recommended to me by miniDSP, is basically a 2.2 or 2.2 channel system, where basically I have complete EQ control over everything. So essentially, if we look at the back of this, I will send a full range signal to the input. So basically left speaker, right speaker, and then out I will go, let's say left channel, right channel. And this will just be going to an old receiver that I'll be running in pure mode or whatever. I won't have any EQ or anything on there. I want to do that because I think it may be a great way for you to reuse some of the older equipment that you may have just lying around or in the garage or in the attic, which you probably shouldn't store sensitive electronic equipment in an attic. I'm just saying. My plan here is to basically do that and use the crossovers inside this to cross everything over, and then use output 3 and 4 for the subwoofers. So I'll have full manual control over everything. I'll be able to EQ the speakers. I will be able to cross them over exactly where I specify using UMIK-2 Wizard. Now I am going to do a full video on that, how I set it up and everything. Not necessarily a walkthrough, although if you guys want a walkthrough of it, I can do one of those as well, because I don't think what's talked about enough is using like a miniDSP Flex or 2x4 HD to actually EQ speakers, not just subwoofers. It's kind of synonymous with subwoofer calibration, which is fine, but there's so much more flexibility that you have with the filters in here versus, say, the graphic EQ in your receiver, which is how I typically do a manual calibration. I'm gonna do that. It should be a fun video, fun series of videos if you guys want that. And then also, I do want to mention there is an optional Dirac Live license for this, so you could use Dirac Live on this device as well. after I kind of get through everything, I may actually reach out to miniDSP and see if they want to maybe send me a license for that, or provide a license for that, just so I could test that extra functionality and give a full review of this from both perspectives. I think that not a lot of people do that, so that would be really cool. But I'm super excited to check this out. I gotta say, it's super sleek looking. I'm gonna cut to some B-roll here momentarily so you could see like how it looks with everything turned on the front. This is an OLED screen. It's just black and white, and it has a nice like clicky dial knob. Overall, I'm super impressed with the build quality already. I mean, it just feels solid. Let me know kind of some content that you would like to see on either one. I think I'm definitely going to do like a side-by-side or a comparison with the UMIK-1 and UMIK-2. I think that might be a lot of fun to do, kind of see the differences in real time, or in a video at least, not real time, but look at some measurements and kind of see, oh, does this work better than this? Is there that much of a difference? I'm really interested to see that, actually. Stay tuned for that. I am super stoked to have this stuff in my possession, and I cannot wait to make some videos on it. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, feel free to hit that like button. And also, if you liked what you saw here, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. If you have some ideas on what you'd like to see from this, from the miniDSP Flex or the UMIK-2, let me know in the comment section below. Also, do you have one? Do you have a UMIK-2? Do you have your own comparisons that you've done? I want to know about them too, so go ahead and throw those in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.